She down there cooking some damn spam.
No, it's just mysterious.
I like barbecue sauce.
Hey everyone, it's Micah Fragrance here, back at it again with another video. As always, if you all are new to my channel, my name is Micah and I love fragrances. And if you guys are coming back, welcome back. I appreciate you all for continuing to support me. Please drop a sub and a like if you all have not already and if you love fragrances. So what is the topic of this video? Obviously, I'm going to be helping you all pick out your first fragrance. Now, you're watching this video for either one of two reasons. Either one, you're just about to get your first fragrance, or you just got your first fragrance, or two, you all are just supporters of the channel. Regardless, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching this video. I will have 3 suggestions, which I'm going to save for the end of the video, so please make sure to watch all the way till the end. I'm just going to be going over a couple of do's and don'ts within buying your first fragrance. So first of all, what do you want to do? Always buy your fragrances off of a discounter. Now, what I recommend, go into your Dillard's, your Ulta, your Sephora, whatever you have, and actually smell the fragrances. And once you decide on which one you want, do not buy from that store. Go on to Joma Shop, go on to FragranceNet, buy off a discounter. It's going to be a lot cheaper, and they are 100% authentic fragrances. I would honestly say Joma Shop or FragranceNet if you're in the US. Beauty House is a good one. FragranceBuy.ca is a good one. Aura Fragrances is a good one. So buy off a discounter is a big thing. Second of all, as I was also saying, test out fragrances. Smell as many as you can, and whichever ones you actually like, what I would recommend, get a sample of them and then actually give them a couple wearings. If there's one or a couple that really stick out to you that you want to get for your first fragrance or your first couple of fragrances, do that. So make sure you test out the fragrances. Make sure you test them out on skin as well. So test out fragrances, definitely on skin, but also see if you can get a sample and wear them a couple times. Those are really the big do's with getting your first fragrance. You don't want to blind buy your first fragrance. You want to get something that you like and something that you actually want in your collection. For a couple of the don'ts, this is a little unconventional. Not a whole lot of people are going to say this, but this is just my opinion. First of all, niche fragrances. I don't care if they're a cheap niche brand like Mancera or even an expensive brand like Parfums de Marly. Resist the urge. Do not buy niche for your first fragrances. And on the opposite side, even though there are some very mass appealing and cheap Middle Eastern fragrances, unless you can test these fragrances out, do not get them. So skip the Middle Eastern and niche fragrances if you cannot test them out. As always, if you smell a niche fragrance in a store and you really like it and you think, wow, I want to get this fragrance for my first cologne, then do that. You want to make sure that you test out your fragrances, but do not look, oh, Parfums de Marly Leighton, I'm going to love this fragrance. It's supposedly it smells really good. I'm going to blind buy it. Do not blind buy your first fragrance. Definitely do not blind buy Middle Eastern fragrances or niche fragrances if they're your first fragrances. That is really the big don't of the video, in my opinion. Niche fragrances and Middle Eastern fragrances you should not be getting for your first fragrance because they're harder to find and harder to actually test out. And the 3 suggestions that I have, these are kind of basic ones. Dior Sauvage EDT, still good. If you like peppery, fresh bergamot, go with Dior Sauvage EDT. Versace Eros EDT, mint and apple opening, pure vanilla dry down. Prada Ocean, nice, powdery, fresh fragrance, a little bit of floralness in there. These are the big 3, I would say, some of the most popular starter fragrances. Now, out of these, what would I recommend you? Probably Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. This is just the EDT, but you can go for the EDP. But Eros or Sauvage, pretty much anything from these lines, so the Luna Rosa line, the Eros line, or the Sauvage line, are going to be really good for your first pickups. Those are personally what I would recommend to get as your first fragrances. So something from that line. Now, again, those are basic fragrances, but they're good enough to wear, they're good enough to get compliments with, and they will definitely make you want more fragrances, want to actually explore fragrances a little bit more. So maybe you can start collecting, not as much as me, but maybe it brings you to start collecting. So those would be my 3 suggestions. Went over some do's and don'ts. There's really nothing else that I can think of. So a quick recap, something from the Eros line, Luna Rosa line, or Sauvage line is going to be really good to get. Test out fragrances and try and get a sample and actually test them out. Give them a full wearing if you can. Buy off a discounter. Do not blind buy, and do not get something niche or Middle Eastern if you have to blind buy as your first fragrance. If you do everything like that, and you do everything as I said, more than likely you are going to have a very successful first fragrance, and it could spark your love for fragrances in general. My first fragrance was Stronger With You EDT from Armani. I did not pick out that scent. That one was given to me. I know a decent amount of people, they'll be given a fragrance, and then that's really what kickstarts their journey and their love for fragrances. So maybe even, ask your parents, hey, I want to get my first cologne. Can you get me something for my birthday, for an occasion coming up? But really, if you're going to pick out your cologne, listen to everything that I said. Let me know how you would go about picking out your first fragrance in the comments below. And make sure to let me know your thoughts on what I'm saying in the video, the suggestions that I gave. Everyone have a good day. Please drop a sub and a like if you all have not already. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, everyone.